Hey guys, so this next example is going to be one that has two asymptotes. I have another video posted of another one with two asymptotes, but the more practice, the better, right? So let's see, we always want to start by factoring. On top, I cannot factor -4, but on the bottom, I can pull out a GCF. So I am going to, and that leaves me with x and then x minus 3. So there are two asymptotes. Careful, the first one is just at 0. Because if I set this first part equal to 0, I just get x equals 0. The other one is at x equals 3. Okay, there is going to be a horizontal asymptote. The degree is bigger on the bottom, so that's an automatic y equals 0. I like to call that a bobo, bigger on the bottom, 0. X and Y intercepts, so same thing as usual. Now this one's actually kind of weird. X-intercept, the top has to equal 0. Well, guess what? -4 doesn't equal 0, which means there is none. So there is no x-intercept. Now here's the interesting thing. For the y-intercept, we have to do the constants. Well, there is no constant in the denominator, so we do -4 over 0, but as you guys should be thinking, that's undefined. 4 over 0 I cannot do, so there is also no y-intercept, and then there is no point of discontinuity because nothing canceled. So I don't know a lot about this graph. I'm going to have to plug in a lot of points. All right, let's go ahead and graph the asymptotes because that's really all I know right now. Okay, so there's one at x equals 0 and there's one at x equals 3. Those are the verticals, and then there's a horizontal at 0. Alrighty, so now I was just going to say let's plot what we know, but we know nothing. So let's plug in points. I am going to need actually a bunch of points. So I'm going to need a point that's over here and a point that's over here. So let's do those first, and then we'll talk about the middle. So let's pick -2. Actually, I'm sorry, let's pick -1, closest to the vertical asymptote. So f of -1, and I'm going to plug into the factored version. So on top I have a -4. On the bottom I have a -1 times -1 minus 3 is -4. So that's -4 over +4, which is -1. So f of -1 is -1. So I now know that this part of the graph looks like so. And now I'm going to plug in 4. On top, still have the -4. Bottom is going to be 4 times 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is -4 over 4, which is also -1. So now I know that this part of the graph is also down below. All right, I got to figure out the middle. Honestly, guys, there's a lot that could happen here. Like, I could have something like here, and then it can go up and then down. It could look like a parabola. So since I really know nothing, I personally would plug in both of the points here to get somewhat of an idea. Okay, so I'm going to find f of 1 and f of 2, just to see what's going on. Okay, so on top, I still get a -4. And then 1 times 1 minus 3 is -2. So -4 over -2 is +2. So 1, 2 is a point. Okay. All right, let's plug in 2. So we get -4 over 2 times 2 minus 3. So that's going to also be -4 over -2, which is 2. Okay. All right, so I could find like 1.5, but I think this might be enough for us to at least know that this is going to come down and come back up. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. Now, if you drew it where you dipped this lower, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you can draw me a sketch, that's what I'm looking for. So this is totally acceptable. And again, with the two asymptotes, you will probably have to end up plugging in a bunch of points. Hope this helps.